All right, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. We're going to look at a website called InfuseLearning.com, which is very similar to Socrative.com, which I showed last week. There are a lot, well, not a lot. There are a few more question types that you can ask, and there's really one question type that really works well with the iPad that I'll be showing you, which is pretty exciting to use. So the website, again, is called InfuseLearning.com. It's free. You go and you can sign up. We'll get logged in here as a teacher, so I can show you the teacher side looks like, and I'll also be showing you what the student side looks like as well. So here's the teacher dashboard of Infuse Learning. You notice in the top left corner, there's your room number. That is specific to your account, so that will always remain the same for any quiz that you do. So again, that's a number that can be shared with your students because they'll need to have that number in order to get into your class on Infused Learning or get into the quiz. I'm going to start here on the left side of the dashboard with the quick assessment questions. Now, the quick assessment questions are questions that the question will not show up on the device, but the result or the choices will. So if you shoot out a true-false question to a student, you're going to have a verbal question or a question on the board or posted somewhere, and they will only see on their laptop or iPad or Chromebook the choices of true and false. And so that's what these quick assessment questions are. So you can ask true, false. You come over here to the gear. You can ask true, false, I don't know, or just true, false questions. Click go, and the students will get that result or those choices. Multiple choice. You can choose either letters or numbers, and you can choose 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. You can have that many choices for the students. And you can also do single response where they just get to respond once, or you can have multiple responses for that question. Sort in order, you can sort letters, again, with all of these different choices, or you can sort numbers. So if you're sorting in order from least to greatest or something like that, you can have those options as well. There's open-ended text answer, which basically gives the student a text box to type their answer in. Numeric question, it'll only take numbers as a question or as an answer. And then you have Likert scale, which Likert scales are those on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being strongly agree, 5 being strongly disagree, rate this. So those are the quick assessments. I'm going to show you really quick what that looks like on the student side. So I'm going to go to the student Infuse Learning. I'm going to log in as a student and use my number and put in, and the student would put their name in and they'd hit submit, and it'll say connection successful, and they're waiting for activity. They're waiting for you, the teacher, to do something. Okay, so I'm just going to shoot out a true false I don't know question here. I'm going to click go. So the question is, I got a couple of students here. I'm waiting for them to get into our room as well. All right, so we'll just do a verbal question is today is Wednesday. I'll try and make it really easy on my students this afternoon. So today is Wednesday. I click go. I'm going to switch over to, you can see as a teacher, you can see your students here. I'm going to click over to the student side so you can see that the students, they don't see the question, all they see are the choices. So today's Wednesday. The kind of day I've been having, I'm not quite sure what today is, so I'm going to choose that, click submit, and then that's it for the question. It's a quick question, good for, middle of lesson, end of lesson, maybe exit ticket types of activities that you just get a quick question out there to your students about how they're doing or if they get it or not. So we had 2 students that time, and as a teacher, I can look at, so here are my students that were connected with their names. I can look at the summary, so I can see that 2 students chose I don't know, and two students chose true. So I had 4 students in there, but only 2 showed up. That's kind of strange. Anyway, I can look at the details. Oh, there's my other students. So you can look at the details and see the students and how long it took them to answer. And then you can also save the results. When you click Save Results, it will ask you for a name, to name it. And this will be, we'll just call this Exit Ticket, and click Save Results. And then I'll show you where you can grab those results here in a little bit. To get back to your dashboard, you click the Home button in the top middle, and this ends the session and gets you back. So that's the quick assessment questions. And those, in Socrative, you had true, false, multiple choice, and short answer. And you didn't really have the extra types of questions or the other choices, like in the multiple choice. You didn't have you couldn't choose a number or letter. You're kind of stuck with just the letters. Okay, under the quick assessment is the draw response. Now this is the big one, and this is a good question type to use, especially if you have a classroom full of iPads. So what you do is you click on draw response. On the student device, they will get a blank, basically whiteboard. And on the side, let me show you what it looks like here. They have their toolbox on the side, or their toolbar. The top, it looks kind of like a rainbow. This would be the colors they can choose from. Then they have their pen sizes. They can draw their lines. That's their line thickness. They have an undo button, a delete button, and a submit button. So they can come in here and draw. And it's a lot easier to do on an iPad than it is with a mouse, with a laptop. And once they hit submit, they get back to this page where they're waiting for the teacher. Now what the teacher sees is the students here, and notice how the names are grayed out when the student submits their drawings or submits their answers. Their names get grayed out, so I can see that Rufus here is still working. And if I come here to images, I can see the images that have been submitted and with the names across the top. And let's see if Rufus is a little slow. So I can also click Save Results, and I'm using Chrome, so it automatically downloads the results here as a PDF. Now, when I open this, what's really nice is that in the PDF, it puts each of the drawings on its own separate page with the student's name in the top left-hand corner. So now I can put this away, put it in a file for parent-teacher conferences, and have a digital hard copy, if you will, of that drawing and of the results, and something to show parents when they come in at conference time or in IEP meetings or anything like that. All right, so let's go back. So that's the quick assessment part. Now, on the right side, I'll go down here through the interactive tools. Now, Infuse Draw works the same way as the Quick Draw, except now before this gets sent out to the students, you can actually draw or import some kind of picture in here. So if I want the students to, I'm going to draw a tree here and choose green. Okay, so I want my students to add to this drawing. So what I do is I come over here, and at the bottom I click the Ask button, and I get some options. Now with these pictures or drawings, you can ask true false questions, multiple choice, text or numeric questions, or you can click draw. So if I click draw, that picture gets pushed to the student, and then they can start to modify or draw over that picture that I just drew. And It's really good for some open-ended responses for students, and I know a lot of students like these types of drawing questions because they don't maybe not like to speak in class or speak up and answer a question, and they can do it here. And so as we're getting finished, you'll see the names disappear or go gray on the left side. Once those images are submitted, and then I can look at the images and we can see what those look like. And again, I can save those results as a PDF. So I'll click Home to get out of here. The other way you can use Infuse Draw is to add pictures. Now, this is a substitution. This could be a substitute for actually printing off worksheets. So I can come down here and I have this image of a plant, and they need to label the parts of a plant. Okay, and it has to be some sort of image file. This is a PNG file. It could be a JPEG or some sort of image file. And I'm going to click Ask. I'll click Draw again. The student gets pushed that picture, and then they can use a stylus or their finger on an iPad to label the parts. A little more difficult to use this in a computer lab or with the laptops or even with Chromebooks without a touchscreen because of the writing aspect of it. But we found a lot of success using the draw feature in Infuse Learning with the iPads especially. So then we can see under images, we can see what those look like. And you can see Drusilla needs some help there with her plant parts. And again, we can save those, and they'll be named one page for each student. Okay. Infuse Link allows you to push out a web link or link to any website. They'll get a button that says "Click Me," and they'll be taken to that website. That's all Infuse Link does. So I showed you the quick assessment, and I showed you the Infuse Draw tool. Now I want to show you how to make your own quizzes. So you come in here to Quiz Management, click on My Quizzes. Up here in the top right corner, there's a plus button, or there's this button here that says Add New Quiz. You click on this. You give the quiz a title. Description is optional. You can turn shuffle questions on so that the students sitting next to each other don't get the same questions at the same time. You can also do a bad word filter. They have a bank of bad words built into their programming that if a student in an open-ended question or a text question puts in one of those bad words, it'll filter it out. And you can also turn display results on so students can see whether or not they got their answer correct or not. I'm just going to leave those as they are. To add a question, you click the Add Question button here below. Type the question in here. Select the question type. You have true, false, multiple choice, sort, text response, numeric, or Likert scale. I'll try to do one of each. So here we'll do a text. You can assign a correct answer. So the correct answer would be Wednesday, and you can also use it as a keyword. So if they don't capitalize Wednesday, it'll still mark it right. And you can also upload a picture right here, and a picture will show up next to the question. So click Submit. Here's our question. The pencil lets you edit the question, get you back to that page we were just at, or you can click the trash can to delete the question. All right, next question. There we go. Next question, we're going to do true, false. I like pizza. Make it easy for my students. You can choose a correct answer, and you can also enable the I don't know choice if you want. and hit submit when you're finished there. Next question. Next question will be the multiple choice. We'll do letters, and we'll do, by default, they give you 4 choices. And you put your answers in here, and you choose the correct answer. You don't have to choose correct answers, but if you want it to self-grade it for you, you need to have correct answers. Click submit. Next question. Next question is a sort question. Largest to smallest, we'll say mouse, we'll say dog, we'll say a house. Well, let's put house here, dog, and let's say earth. And I'm going to move these 2 around here so they're kind of jumbled up. Click the sequence, so you click the correct order. So we're going largest to smallest, so we'll go, well, look at that. Let's move these around one more time. We'll just do a couple here. All right, so we got earth is largest, and then house, and then dog, and then mouse. If you mess up, you can hit reset, and it'll reset the sequence, and you can do it again. You can also add or take away results too, and you can do letters or numbers. And click submit. Next question, type is text response. Again, text response, you could have a correct answer if you want. Normally on a text response, if it's short answer, you're not going to have a correct answer unless you have a one-word question like and then your correct answer would be something like this. Hit submit. Let me put a question mark there and hit submit. Next question type is going to be here we go. Numeric. So you can only put in numbers, so we'll make it really easy for my students today. And the last question type is going to be the Likert scale. They have built-in scales already for you to use. So they have strongly agree to strongly disagree, highly confident, or you can just use generic 1 through 5 or 1 through 7, or build your own. I'm going to do highly confident to highly unsure and use a question like, how well do you think you will use this site? And I'll hit submit, and there's our quiz. And you can have as many questions as you want. You come up here and hit save, and it puts it in your quiz bank here at the top. Now if I want to edit it, I hit edit here. I can play this quiz or run it, and then the students will get the questions right now. So on pre-made quizzes, you'd come into the quiz manager, find the quiz, hit the play button to run the quiz, and that would shoot out to your students. And they answer the questions at their own pace. As soon as they answer one question and submit it, they'll get the next question. I can share this quiz. Here's the URL I can share with other teacher friends, and they can have access to the quiz as well. Or I can come in here and delete the quiz altogether. And you will see an alpaca assessment. This is a demo quiz that Infuse Learning gives you, so you can kind of look and see how they have theirs set up. All right, so back in here, under quiz management, quiz results, this is where you get those quiz results. So you can have the quiz results emailed to you, or you can download them. Again, it downloads as a PDF. And you can also delete these results as you want, or sorry, yeah, it downloads as an Excel document, sorry, not a PDF. And so you can see the student name, and the number of scoreable answers and the total score. Let me show you another assessment. You can see these go back all the way, like this one goes back all the way to February. So they stay in here until you go in and delete them. So you can see the student's name. The questions in red are marked, they're marked incorrect. Here we go. And they give you a comprehensive class average at the bottom. And the questions in black are marked correct. So you can see as you go through there, number of correct answers for this student was 1, number of score out of 6, so that's a 17%. So it does do the scoring for you. The only thing it really won't score for you is short answer quizzes or short answer questions. You'd have to go in and read those and manually put those in a grade book. Down here under system utilities, under class setup, you can set up different classes. And what's nice about this is you can, when you add students in, you can set languages. So if you have students, like ELL students or students that are stronger in Spanish, you can turn that on for them or give them access to all the languages. The thing to remember is when you set up your classes, you'll have a different room number for each class. So you have to be careful when setting those up if that's something you wish to do. And you can find more information in the Infused community about setting up classes. Under the preferences, this is where you can change your password, change your email address if you need to do that, and then do some other system settings for the program. So I can have translation always turned on so those students can have it translated to them in English or Spanish. And I can also turn audio on, and there's a little speaker that gets put next to the question, and the student can click on it and it'll read the question to them, which is pretty cool. But that's by default set to controlled in the classroom setting. And then I can either always hide or always show the student names. So those are just some more preferences that you can set up. And so that's pretty much the Infused Learning website. Again, it's a lot like Socrative, more question types, but the Infused Draw tool and the Draw Response tool, especially with iPads, is a really big advantage over Socrative. So next week is going to be the website Kahoot, which is another website that allows you to create some online quizzes for students. It's more of a game show type of activities than these quiz types that you see here in Socrative or Infused Learning. So until next time, you can check this video out on the website as always, and we'll see you next week.